Hello everyone, welcome back to CodeWithAbby, your go-to place for mastering SQL concepts with real-world insights. Today we are diving deep into powerful operators in SQL Server. They are any and all. These operators might seem simple at first, but they hold the key to solve complex queries efficiently. So why do we need them? Well, when working with databases, we often need to compare a value against a set of values, whether it is checking if a record meets any condition from a subquery or if it satisfies all conditions. Any and all help us make precise, optimized decisions. In this video, I will first break down their definitions, then walk you through real-world examples to see them in action. Finally, we will wrap up with the top 5 interview questions and answers you might face on these operators. So stay tuned till the end. If you find this helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more SQL insights. So let's get started. I am in SQL Server Management Studio, and let's go and create one table to understand this concept of any and all. So the table that we are going to create is TBL employee. This TBL employee has mainly 4 fields: employee ID, which is a primary key, and identity. You know identity, if 1 is 1, that means it starts with 1 and incremented by 1. So it will automatically be created. Employee name, department, and employee salary. Make sense? We will fill in this table with some details. So we have a couple of records that we have already prepared for you so that we will insert these records to this table. Let's go and create this table. I'm selecting this script and hitting execute button. This table has been created, and now let's go and insert these details to this table. The table records have been inserted. Let's query and see what all the records that we have inserted. We see that there are 9 records and employee ID 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 through 9, and these are details. Okay, let's go and try to understand how can we apply any and all on this. Make sense? So I'm going to write another query, and this query is select all salary from employee table wherein the department is sales. So you know this particular table has got multiple departments. So let's say department is sales. So sales department has got only 2 salaries, 80,000 and 88,000. Make sense? Now let's create a scenario. The scenario is, the requirement is I wanted to display all the employee details. Okay, I wanted to display all employee details whose salary is greater than any of the salaries, which salary is greater than any of the salaries of sales department. Okay, so you know this inner query will bring the sales department salary. We have already seen that is 80,000 and 88,000. So anybody if having salary, anybody's salary if greater than either 88 or 80,000. So any of the salary if greater, it should display these. So let's go and combinedly display these all results. So we have got 3 results here. This is the full record set, and here it tries to display only the records of those employees whose salary is more than any of the salary of sales department. So sales department salary is either 80,000 or 88,000. You see these guys, 81,000 is greater than 80,000. So this has been considered. In order to write any or all, we need to write a subquery. So this subquery is, or inner query returns some result set. Based on that, it checks. If you go and see the all, so let's go and execute this all 4 examples together. So this is a full record set. This is the salary. These are the 2 types of two salary figures only with the sales department. And now we see that any displays, because any says that any salary if salary of the employees is greater than any of the salary returned by subquery. So either if it is greater than 80,000 or greater than 88,000, all should be considered. But all says that all the salaries, the salary, you are going to display the records of those employees. The salary of the employees should be greater than all the salary of the subquery or the sales department here. So the salary is 80,000, 88,000. Notice here is that it is displaying only three records: 1,80,000, 90,000, and 95,000. It didn't display 81,000. Why? Because 81,000 was more than 80,000, but not was more than or greater than 88,000. So this is the basic difference between any and all. All considers that it has to be more than all, but any considered it has to be more than any. So more than, for the fact of the matter is, it can be more than, it can be less than, it can be equal, or whatever. So we will go and try to understand the actual theoretical definition of any and all now. So if you want to define any compares a value against any single value returned by subquery. So it says that it compares against the single value returned by a subquery. So it returns, if any of this is greater or satisfy the requirement, then it works. So it's like saying, is the value greater than, less than, or equal to at least one value from the subquery? So this defines it pretty well here. So it is like, is the value greater than, less than, or equal to at least one value from the subquery? And if you are talking about all, it says that it is the value greater than, less than, or equal to all values in the subquery. So having said that, we have seen this in example and followed by this definition. These are two operators in SQL Server and they are used in such scenarios. I'm going to explain you a couple of real-time scenarios where we can use any and all. The first is checking employee salaries. Find the employee whose salary is greater than any salary in that department. So we have already seen this example, taking the example of sales department. And number two, identifying best performers. So in companies, find employees whose salary is higher than all salaries in HR department. So we wanted to see the list of employees whose salary is more than all the salaries being drawn by each individual. Let's go and see these in action. So here we are going to write the same query, select all from TBL employee, that is fine, and select employee salary from HR department. This will give me the salary of HR department. And third, wherein we have written the all operator. So you see, this is the full data set. And these 81,000 and 75,000 are the two salaries drawn by HR department. You see, there's this guy, Kumud Burma, is drawing 81,000, and Neha Sharma in HR department drawing 75,000. So we wanted to display the list of employees whose salaries is more than any of the person's salary. I mean, all of the person's salary more than, it should be more than that. So it should be more than 81,000 as well as 75,000. So you see the result set here. So here we have used all. Let's go and see how to write any and all. We have already seen in the example. So all you require is a subquery. So this subquery should give you the result set. And then you have to use a relational operator here. I mean, operator for comparing. It can be greater than, it can be less than, greater than equal to, less than equal to, equal to. So these are our operators can be possible to write here. And same as the all, the spelling is pretty clear. ANY for any, ALL for all. Let's go and find the differences between any and all. So any, at least one value satisfies the condition, then this works. This returns true. But all value must satisfy the condition. So there are scenarios wherein if any of the values are satisfies, then this will work. This will true, returns true, but all should satisfy all the condition. At least one comparison must be true for any to succeed, but every comparison must be true for all to succeed. Performance wise, it may return more results, any, because it checks for any value if it is more, but usually returns fewer results because it checks for all the operators that can be used along with any is pretty equal to that all operators using all. Let's go and discuss the 5 interview questions and their answers. The first is explain the difference between any and all operators in SQL Server. I think I have pretty much covered this in last slide, and there is no need to cover it and discuss this again. The second is how do any and all operators handle empty result sets in subquery? This is something that we will see in the demo. Let's go and check it. So the requirement is how do any and all handle result sets. So the result sets is the one that is returned by the subquery. You see this is the result set. If I am executing this returns nothing. There is no employee salary returned. Now if I am telling if any value that is less than the salary return, so what will it return? And I'm telling all values that is less than the salary return. So if I see any value that is less than the salary return, it will return false, and hence there would be no record selected in case of any. But if you say all, then it should return true, and this will return all the records. So what does it mean? It checks for any, since no result sets had been returned by the subquery, then the outer query will get nothing, and so no record is less than the value returned by the subquery. But all says that all the values, if the subquery doesn't return a value or any result set, all is true, and it executes for all the record. It finds that all the values are obviously all the salaries are less than the salaries that is returned by this, because no salary has been returned. So this is the basic difference. This is how any and all treats the data set which doesn't return any value. Let's go and explore the third question. The third question is, can you provide a scenario where using the any operator is more appropriate than using multiple or condition? So you might have thought this scenario that you can use any and or alternatively. So any appears to be similar to or conditions on or operator. So let's go and derive an example. So I am creating a table for this demo, and the table is product ID, TVL products, which has got product ID, product name, category, and price. And this has got some categories, like for example, the shirt has got. Let's go and create this table first, and then I will explain you the data. Table has been created. Let's insert these records to this table. Table records have been inserted, and let's see what values that we have prepared. So we see that product ID 1 is shirt, and which belongs to a category cloth. Product ID 2, which is jeans pant, which belongs to a category 5. And likewise, hat, which belongs to a category called accessories. So we see one thing is here, that those products which belong to some cloth category had either price 2,000 rupees or 5,000 rupees or 1,000 rupees. 2,000, 5,000 or 1,000. Make sense? Now, we had a query wherein we were writing that select all the products from that product table where the price is 2,000 or 5,000 or 1,000 rupees. So it returned some result set for me. So it returned some result set for me, and the result sets were this one, all the values. But see, the one thing is common is that they belong to a category called cloth. So instead of writing this or statement, we can write more efficient query using any. So we are using any here equals any select price from TBL products where the category is clothes. And now you see that both will produce the same result, but we avoided using multiple or conditions or operators, and we replaced it by writing any. Let's go and see next question. How is any different from using in SQL? So with in, we can only use equals to operator, but with any, we can use greater than, less than, equal to all. This is the basic difference. The last question, write a query to find employees whose salary is greater than all employees in the sales department. We have already seen that in our example using. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more high quality technical content. Also press that bell icon so that you will have future notifications. Drop your questions if any, and I will be happy to answer them. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.